I'm James Kirk.
I'm Michi Hoyer,
and you're watching simnews.tv.
The WCSLeague Megane series on Rfactor 2 is proudly sponsored by Raceview.nl. Raceview.nl, where you and your league can get live timing updates every 2 seconds with stint analysis and an auto-generated track map, whilst also enjoying an overlay for your live broadcasts. Get your 30-day subscription on up to 3 servers for only $3.99. WCS League, where racing is entertainment, uses Raceview.nl for all their live timing. Why don't you check it out too?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the WCS Megane or Megane, considering where that video came from. Series! That's enough of that ASMR stuff. We're here for loud, high-octane, digital motor racing esports action. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. My name is Simon Smith, and we are here at Assen. Immediately in the chat, everyone giving me hell for round 3 of the Megane Season 5 Championship. We're just into qualifying now. We've got 10 minutes left to go. Alongside me, as always, on cameras and chipping in his words of wisdom is Mr. Alex Skinner. How are you doing, good sir?
I'm doing okay, actually. Thank you, Mr. Smithy. And I think the ASMR was very well intended and very well enjoyable, dear sir. So, let's get this underway with a bit more octane now, shall we?
Yes, let's turn up the volume and the action. Currently, we've got 2 people that have committed times. I was going to say committed crimes, but actually their lap times are good. Chris Shepherd woke up for the first time this season, has put himself on provisional pole with a 1:37.943. Roy Schroten is second, some 0.4 behind. This track has been quite interesting to see how everyone gets on with, because there's lots of curbs around this circuit that you have to ride on exit as well as on entry. It's destabilizing the cars and making it actually quite difficult for people to set up consecutive laps that are decent, so to speak. Obviously it's a longer circuit as well, so the field spread is out there as Rienk Hoekstra crosses the line. He's been bottom of the pile in practice, and that 1:54.406 will not change that. 16 seconds off of pole. That's I will recruit you, Mr. Hoekstra, for our times indeed. We do have Hygo Poom though out on P11, just starting off his hot lap. So let's take you around the lap of the bottom and circuit. Lots of people saying, why aren't we at Zandvoort? Because you can't overtake there, is generally the answer to that circuit. It's a lovely circuit, but yeah, dusty and narrower than anyone you'd care to take out on a date with. And as you can see there by Hygo, the way how he attacks some of these curbs, very difficult. The setup that these Meganes have are kind of locked down for the vast majority, and some people, and Hygo is one of these actually in practice, just saying that it doesn't really suit his driving style and the way how he likes to attack and enjoy racing a Megane. So he may struggle particularly around here, and as you'll see, lots of people kicking out to the outside of that corner that he's just exited out of before he gets into the second half of the circuit. Hygo's been very consistent throughout this season in terms of pace, always up in the top 6 or thereabouts. Would like to convert that more into points opportunities, I'd imagine. Lots of people attacking the curbs through that chicane as Matthew Clipp moves into 3rd, and a new driver who we'll get to in a second is into 4th, although he's had a bit of an off as well. So Hygo, if he just keeps us all clever, there you can see, out onto the final corner across the line, 2nd position, just 2 tenths off, 1:38.167. Interestingly though, the battle for pole I think will be absolutely crazy potentially, because we've got 2 drivers who are really on top of their game. Never out yet. Wesley Stefano beat Yuri Kastorp in practice by 44 thousandths of a second, and Yuri saying in chat, I'm worried for my pole streak. So we should be interested to see how that goes. Miguel Musino moves into 4th position, 1.3 seconds off the pace. And welcome to the grid, Hytham Abdul Kader, Abdul Kader, who is now down into 7th. Made a mistake on his hot lap, but I'm sure he will be welcomed onto the grid, which we currently have 18 runners and riders in. And who is that into 6th? Hector Tomlinson, who we saw debut early on in the season. Who have we got out there on track at the moment? Jeffrey Fournier is the sole driver on a hot lap at the moment. Cause of much consternation last time out. Although not quite as much as Argo Tida. who was the rampant ram, dare I say, during the races themselves. And Jeffrey would love to kick off a little bit higher. The car looking very unstable under braking. And that shows 6th position, 1.4 seconds down. So tight, though, between Musino, Clip, Fournier and Thompson. Just 0.12 of a second. Crazy stuff there. 5 minutes to go. Plenty of drivers out on the track now. Still not our leading top duo. Let's take a look at Craig Patterson then in 14th position. Just going around in that turn 1. Very tricky here because if you run wide onto the curbs, it spits you off. I've seen a few people go off there in practice and into this corner as well. The rear end looks very lively. One of those double apex corners. I will not attempt many of the names of this circuit because they are just... They're Smithy phobes. I can't get my tongue around that. And I can get my tongue around many things. As... my fridge and freezer will let you know, and will the Just Eat takeaway app. Hashtag not sponsored. We are indeed sponsored, though, by Raceview.nl. So thank you very much for them for providing the support to enable us to bring this to you. Patterson looking much tidier in this Sector 2 section of the circuit. Not quite troubling all of the apexes there. There's... with the rules of WCS, you're allowed to have 2 wheels onto the curbs, but turn 10 has thrown up a bit of a strike there for that. The other thing I'd like to mention as well is that we have also sorted out the bug that was causing the issues with pit lane box sharing, but it won't be in place for this round because it was only discovered the last minute what was causing the issue. So all the drivers have been warned in advance as Danny Robbins goes into 5th position in that clutch. Where's Patterson going to go? 4th. Nicely done. Just a second off of pole. And that means it's Shepherd, Poom, Schroten, Patterson and Musino with his best effort so far this season up into 5th. Now, Niranjan Kumar is out there at the minute on 15th. Let's see how he's getting on. He's been a front runner all the time. Mark Fuller gets 10th. I think he'll be moderately satisfied with that one. And Kumar, oh, that's not quite the exit onto that chicane he wanted. Takes him onto provisional pole, a 1:37.824. But that exit was wild, to say the least. And no one wants a wild Kumar on their hands, I hear. They're a rare breed that's often found on a Discovery Channel. I feel like we need a wee bit of David Attenborough as Peter Jones comes across the line. Where's he going? He was busy battling actually with sibling rivalry Caitlin Penny earlier on. 5th position, a second off. Not quite the strength that we saw in the season opener, but there or thereabouts to cause mucho problemo. Now, the big duo are out because there's only 2 minutes left of quali to go. Argo Tida has just joined onto the track as well. Carvalho's out as well. So Castorp versus Stefano. Stefano's the first one over the line. So let's follow our yellow liveried car around in 15th position. See what he does. Because practice was absolutely fascinating. The two just one-ing up each other all the time. Ooh, that was wide out of 1 and into 2. Tida there, his teammate, rejoining the track. Probably not at the best moment. I hope that didn't put off Wesley Stefano. And round he goes, looking a little bit lost, actually, around that first couple of things. And again, wide out onto the curbs. This is obviously much more of a motorbike circuit than it is for a traditional touring car / open wheelie events. So quite often the curbs are situated to help that. Nice and tight through that chicane though. Bit wobbly on acceleration. Again showing just how on knife edge these Meganes are as they work their way round. Castorp still not started his hot lap, so we'll see him in a second. Round he goes. Just reading the chat there. Thank you very much. Glad to have already got my first hater and meme in. Shows I'm doing a good job. Round the last couple of corners then for Stefano. Where is he going? Into this tricky bump and grind finale. Over the line he goes. Third. Oh dear, that didn't quite go to plan there. So Kumar ahead from Shepherd. Stefano into third. Carvalho, I don't think, will trouble the top rungs, but we'll keep an eye on him. Castorp then, what can he do? Can he keep up his pole streak? He's got 2. He'd like a triple threat if he can. Oh, and that's looking very tricky through the chicane. You can see the aggression, and that's well out wide from Castorp, pushing a wee bit too hard there against Kumar, Shepherd and Stefano, and that could well cost him. Right the way down the very bottom of the lists there, Carvalho goes into 14th, 2.2 off. What can Castorp do? Can he regain any of that momentum that was lost through that sideways slide moment? You could just see how much extra speed he was taking, and it just did not pay dividends. But Castorp, if ever there is one to recover, we know it will be him through the kinks. What can he do? Again, running right the way out wide, taking all of the track and a smidgy bit more. Bounces over those sausages and across the line. Can he do it? No, he cannot. 4th position, 3 temps down. That will not... That was within Yuri Castorp's grasp, but that small little problem basically spelt the end of that. Where's Argo Tida going to go? Again, a bit tardy on the exit of that final chicane. Goes into 9th though. That's a much better recovery there from Argo. He was a bit well off in Manicourt, but much better here. Caitlin Penny just about, I think, crossed the line to be able to get her hot lap in. She'll be last over. And where can she go? She was midfield in practice and 16th in quali. I don't think she'll be particularly pleased with that one, just behind Mark Fuller. So Niranjan Kumar takes pole position. The first one that is not given to Yuri Castorp. Chris Shepherd is second. Wesley Stefano third. Yuri Castorp down in 4th place, where he's not been so far this season. Hygo Poom in 5. Roy Schroten is 6th, and that top 6 well clear from the rest. Then it was Peter Jones 7, Craig Patterson 8, Argo Tida 9, ahead of Miguel Musino 10. Danny Robbins 11, Clip 12, Hector Thompson 13, Mark Fuller is 14, ahead of Caitlin Penny, Rodrigo Carvalho, Hytham Abdul Qader, and Riank Hoekstra rounds off the grid. We're going to dive off for a quick break, but we'll be back right before the 18-lap feature race. Stay tuned.
I'm James Kirk. I'm Mitchie Hoyer, and you're watching SimNews.tv.
The WCS League Megane series on Rfactor 2 is proudly sponsored by Raceview.nl. Raceview.nl, where you and your league can get live timing updates every 2 seconds with stint analysis and an auto-generated track map, whilst also enjoying an overlay for your live broadcasts. Get your 30-day subscription on up to 3 servers for only $3.99. WCS League, where racing is entertainment, uses Raceview.nl for all their live timing. Why don't you check it out too?
Welcome back to WCS, Season 5 of the Meganes, here at Assen. Myself, Simon Smith, and Alex Skinner with you for the feature race as they get themselves ready onto the grid. 18 laps, mandatory pit stop with tyre change. And I believe we may have some driver standings on our screen just to quickly run you through them. As Yuri Kastorp there with 86 points, well clear of Roy Schroten in second, bowing by basically lots and lots of consistency onto 47. Kumar with 42, Olsen 39, who is not here this evening. Stefano, our man who was quickest in practice, is on 32, and you can see right the way down to Johan Lindberg on 7. 18 scorers easily on that chart, and plenty, I think, of mid-championship battles going on there. In the standings for the teams, though, it's RSR well clear on a 113, ahead of Racing Team Schroten on 89. CM Tech and AB Racing just ahead of Ice Cold in the battle for third. And What the F Racing on -5. I think I'd be saying what the F to that too, if I was quite honest. Let's hope that they can pull themselves up into at least 0 points, if not the pluses. So let's take you round on a formation lap and make sure that we get you gridded up and are ready for the action. And Mr. Skinner, I'll be asking you for your hot tips as we go round. Not that one. Niranjan Kumar on pole position, then ahead of Chris Shepherd. First time he has made it to the grid. People needing to wake him up because he's in the wrong time zone for this race, essentially. Wesley Stefano in third position, fastest in practice. Didn't quite get it together in the quali, and neither did Yuri Kastorp, fourth position after that mistake. Watch for him coming through. Hygo Poom in fifth, where's ever. Looking for a good top 5 finish. Roy Schroten, Mr. Consistency, second in the championship into 6th place. Peter Jones in 7th then, looking to be best of the rest ahead of Craig Patterson, who disconnected in the warm-up and will be hoping that's not a problem in the race. Argo Tida hoping for a cleaner race night from 9th position. I was going to say weekend. I will get out of that eventually by the end of this. Miguel Messina rounds out the top 10. Danny Robbins in 11th position, looking to climb up the order there. Oh, we've just lost Mark Fuller. He was having some technical issues, so he's just been removed. That moves Matthew Clipp to 12th. Jeffrey Fournier will be 13th. Hector Thompson is in 14th. So he's looking also to solidify some points-paying positions. Caitlin Penny in 15th. Was running higher in practice and will be looking to ascend. Rodrigo Carvalho has been quietly consistent, racking up points towards the rear of the field and will be looking to do more of the same from 16th. Hytham Abdulkader in 17th makes his debut. Don't smash it. I thought he was going to hit Carvalho there, but that's just the field bunching up. Riank Hoekstra in 18th will be looking for some more points to add to his tally, even if the speed not necessarily is there. Any hot tips from you, Alex, as they grid up?
I don't know. I'm just surprised at how clean everything has sort of been for these, the warm-up lap and how everything has been. So, with what we're expecting going into the race, we've got big grid, a lot of drivers and a lot of names, and well, anything is possible here. And I'm very much expecting it to be very much a Shepherd and Kasdorp fight through the race.
I will throw Stefano in there as well. He's going to need to manage his tyres better than he did in Manicourt, though. And that was the key that Yuri said in the interviews post-race. And we'll be doing a separate video of interviews after this broadcast. So let's watch for the lights. Kumar versus Shepherd, Stefano and Kastorp, who will be king of the Assens. Oh, Stefano's off to a great start. Kumar bogged down and Shepherd goes through immediately into the lead. Kastorp's got a really good second phase of his start. It's a pinch point down into turn 1. Kumar tries to go around the outside, hanging onto the grass, as does Stefano, and he's dropped back behind Schroten. Schroten up to 4th position, Kastorp up to 2nd. Rise spinning through. Oh, Schroten, is he going to drop it? No, he's not. Just about. Sorry, it was Kumar there who blocked off his teammate, and the teammates collide with each other. That's problems there, but they keep it in the right direction. I think that's caused issues further back, as it has Peter Jones facing the wrong way, down to last in 18th place. But it's Shepherd that leads the way just ahead of Yuri Kastorp, just as Alex Giller was saying. Kumar down to 3rd. Schroten holds off Stefano, who got lucked out round the outside of turn 2. And that was a real faux pas for the Racing Team Schroten duo, hitting each other. Team Boss taking out the star driver, and that caused problems throughout the field. Caitlin Penny I just saw on the gravel as well there, but keeping going in 12th. And Riank Hoekstra and Rodrigo Carvalho both off the track further around the lap. They have all rejoined. 18 remain. And Mark Fuller not able to rejoin, I don't believe. So, Shepherd, Kastorp, Kumar, now that he's got back into the running, is closing back up again. And Riank Hoekstra has crashed out with suspension failure, and that was a binning all of his own at the very back of the field, I believe. In fact, now he just pulls off and stops. So that was the end of that. Shepherd, though, crosses the line to lead. And look at Kumar on to 2nd. What's Kastorp doing? That looked like he'd either had a tardy exit, and Schroten nearly into the back of Kumar as well. Robbins up to 6th position. He's just passed Hygo Poom. Poom out wide. Patterson all over the back of him for 7th and 8th position as well, with Fournier behind in 9. But look at the Schrotens. Roy Schroten's gone up the inside of Kumar. What's going on here? Clearly does not want to be team leader, or wants to be team leader, my apologies. Going past Kumar, and Schrote fancies sticking one right down the centre. Kastorp 8 attempts back from Shepherd. We know Kastorp doesn't like to go too fast too early on. Stefano has a look at Kumar. really struggling early on in these laps. Not great there. And I saw something else in the corner of my eye. But don't panic. I could just be cross-eyed. Shepherd there, 1.4 clear of Castorp. Schroten onto the back, then Kumar, Stefano, Robbins, Poom, Patterson, Fournier and Tida. In the top 10, slight gap back to Clip, Penny, Musino, who's gone backwards, Thompson, Abdelkader, Jones and Carvalho, who is off the back of the field following that incident with Riank Hoekstra, who is our second retirement of the race. And the field's starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm now, although Patterson versus Fournier for 8th and 9th is quite interesting and juicy. I think Fournier quite fancies a look down Patterson, who was quick in practice, but Fournier there bouncing off the curbs. That did not work well for him at all, and that means that he'll actually be more on the attack from Argo Tida than anything else. Peter Jones takes 15th place from Hytham Abdelkader. I'm out of the final corner. Abdelkader has a fancy look down into turn 1, nothing doing, and that is Jones' upper position. Chris Shepherd, though, leading the way from Castorp, who runs wide from Schroten, Kumar and Stefano. It's Stefano who I think is on the charge, though. He has got onto the slipstream of Niranjan Kumar, and Kumar looking a little bit less aggressive than we've seen in previous races. We've seen him make some real attacking moves, particularly in the season opener, and looking a little bit more on the defensive foot as they make their way around lap 3 of 18. Remember, there is a mandatory pit stop for tyre change during this race. You can take it wherever you like, but if you start to find that actually traffic is going to be causing a bit of an issue, maybe one or two of these might fancy getting out of it early. And we've generally seen in the opening 2 rounds that the undercut has worked slightly better than an overcut. And no, I'm not talking hairdos, as they filter their way through the fast kinks. And a little shout out there to Danny Robbins, who's filtered his way up through the field from 11th to 6th. And he's hanging on nicely onto the back of the Schrotens and Stefano. And Castorp a second behind Shepherd. We'll see how that works in terms of tyre wear. This has been a very interesting start to the season, because the way how Castorp was talking about it, and apologies to go on about tyres so early on in a race, but Castorp was basically saying, I don't charge nearly as hard as what I could do. Oh, as Robbins goes out wide in 6th position, got stuck on the curb and has lost a bit of time to Stefano, who is harrying the back. Oh, he's touched the back of Kumar. Nibble, nibble, nibble. He's not a hunk of cheese. In fact, Danny Robbins down to 10th, 11th, 12th. He's off the track. Ah, that was a shame. Down in 15th, got himself back out of the gravel. Was that his own error? Let's take a little look. Yes, it was. He done. Oh, Poom done well to avoid that. The issue with that for Danny Robbins was that instead of flooring it out of the gravel, he hit reverse and put himself further in it, hence the rejoin back in 15th place. So a shame there for Danny Robbins. We should look forward to him getting back up the order to battle with teammate Castorp. It's the first time we've really seen them back together again all season, so we shall see how that goes. But just to finish off my point there on Castorp, is that he doesn't push nearly as hard because the tyre temperatures rise up so quickly in these Meganes, particularly around Manicourt we found this. It may not be quite the same around Assen, but there's a lot of long radial corners that will keep your tyres pretty much kebabbing themselves. And it's been quite hot here in England, so maybe you could pop them on a barbecue, add some sauce, have a filthy night. But what will happen is that other people who are busy pushing to that 100th percentile of what they can achieve burn their tyres up faster, then lose grip and then struggle, whereas Castorp can kind of keep that knife edge on around the 95-96% and basically have a much longer, faster trajectory of pace and less of a drop off. Stefano still all over the back of Kumar, lap 5 of 18 we are currently on. Elsewhere, Caitlin Penny and Matthew Clip having a good old scrapperoo over 10th and 11th positions. Of course, that will be key for reverse grid pole. Need to be careful. They're only 6 seconds ahead of Robbins, who could well catch back up again. And Peter Jones, I wouldn't count him out either, down in 14th. though he's not quite making the progress I had expected. Carvalho is in the pits from 17th place. Oh, he's in the barriers in the pits. What's happened there? That's not how you take a pit lane entry. Oh dear, how very Lewis Hamilton China 2007 for you. But he's in the pits to get himself repaired and he'll keep going. The grid thing for Rodrigo Carvalho. Oh, as Danny Robbins has crashed off again, has he? He's retired. Oh, he smacked the barrier on that fast curve and lost a wheel. That is a huge accident there for Danny Robbins. I don't know, Alex, if you're able to pick that up on the cameras, but if you do, how do your spidey sensors feel with that when you've hit the barrier at such a quick rate?
I don't think he'd even had enough time to get his hands off the wheel with that accident, let alone, anything else. But it's a shame to see him out of the race. And he joins Ring Hoekstra out of the race.
Indeed, that is our third retirement to join Hoekstra and Fuller, who didn't even get going. And that is a shame. Ooh, that's a change of position. That is Argo Tida retaking Jeffrey Fournier for 8th and 9th positions as well. But yeah, that was a big oof, is what I will say. And I'll quote Holland Racing Team in the YouTube chat, who just put oof as well. So, mega oofs. But I think, well, we don't have a G-Force rating on here, but I pretty much confirmed that plastic surgery would probably have been needed for the end of that if you'd have had big oofs, and I do not lie. Fournier versus Tida down the back straight. Very difficult to do a move into this corner, as we've seen. That barrier bites, and that was pretty much where Castorp got it wrong in quali, which is why he's only half a second now behind Chris Shepherd. In fact, let's join that back up the front, because Castorp has started to close down. And is this what I was talking about earlier on, where Castorp doesn't quite go full beans and keep some of those hinds back for later? Disclaimer, other beans are available. And let's hope Chris Shepherd hasn't spilt his beans, because that was a lock-up, and that was a big lock-up there. And that has put him right on the defensive leg. Castorp there looking one way or another through that final chicane. Very difficult to do that. In fact, actually, Shepherd's mistake may have helped him keep the lead, because Castorp basically arrived too early down at turn 1. Shepherd goes defensive. Castorp takes a wider line in. He's looking for a Lungelina up the inside into 2 that turns into 3. Oh, bang on the curve! Round goes Castorp. Issues there. He's onto the escape road. He's scooped it up nicely. Through goes Schroten. Through goes Stefano. Kumar gets through as well. Is he going to get out ahead of Poom? Just about. Hygo, Poom and Patterson, they're not quite able to take the advantage, but that was a closing trajectory around turns 3 there. Castorp nowhere to go. Round he went. Just a bit of a racing incident. There should have been room for the pair, but Shepherd was defiant in his defence. Castorp down to 5th. This is looking like the biggest drama that he'll have, and of course spinning around like that will do no help to your tyres. Increasing the temperatures, the core temperature rises. His advantage of being able to keep those tyres cool will not have gone down well at all. And look, Roy Schroten has been right on form this evening, up into 2nd position, now half a second off of Shepherd as a result of that drama. We've lost Rodrigo Carvalho as well. He has retired from 16th place, leaving just the 15. If everyone gets home, points for all, essentially, as they come through the fast flick-flack. Right, left. I'm sure it has a Dutchy name somewhere. And into the pits comes Schroten. He doesn't want to get held up. That's a quick peel off for the pits. And again, look at him. He's got 2 wheels on the grass. I think this could be a feature here. Someone else is in the background as well. It's Castorp. He smacks the pit lane limiter board all the way down. Now. Naughty. In also has come Hygo Poom and Hector Thompson as well. So a real change around of positions. We're bang on 40%. So people clearly thinking that the overcut is working. Shepherd's gone off, made a mistake into the same place that we saw Danny Robbins bin it earlier on, and the incident on lap 1 with Hoekstra and Peter Jones as well. So big issues. That seems to be the corner that's catching most people out. So Shepherd leads from Stefano, Kumar, Patterson, Tida, Fournier, Clip, Penny, Jones and Abdelkader. None of them have stopped. Then the stoppees, Schroten out just ahead of Kastorp, but I feel like Kastorp has actually gained time during that, as they just rejoin now. Hygo Pooms lost out to Kastorp during those pit stops. Thompson and Miguel Musino is also in, currently 15th and last, but that will all kind of filter itself back out again later on. So the top 10 yet to pit, 11th downwards has, and Schroten has opened up a small lead now over Kastorp, but Kastorp immediately, with those new tyres, starting to chomp it back down again. My worry though is for Stefano and Kumar. Second and third, remember Kumar originally was ahead of Stefano at the beginning of this race. They've swapped around positions, but they're 3 seconds off, and neither of them have pitted because Chris Shepherd has. So they're going long. This would be a fascinating strategic call. Patterson is in as well. Tida continues on, having a much cleaner and better race than he did in Manicourt. Who else is in? Matthew Clip, as Fournier and Penny continue on their way too. So Stefano takes the lead. What is going to happen? Oh, Peter Jones has binned it, trying to get into the pits. 9th position. Quick spin turn round, back in again. It's not been the best of days for Peter Jones, has it? But still looking good for some points. Shepherd stationary. Schroten under attack from Kastorp. Will this undercut work? Kastorp launches himself over those sausage curves onto the finale. Not the sausage I had in mind, I think would say Yuri as he bounces over that. But Shepherd gets out into the lead, and that has worked out a treat, because Schroten is actually further behind, as is Kastorp, compared to before. I wonder if that's because it was either a longer stop, or if it was just simply because he was able to pull out the gap in clean air where he could. But that has worked out beautifully for Shepherd. Schroten then will take net second for the time being, ahead of Kastorp. Poom has gained a little bit in all of this. Then Patterson clips out ahead of Hector Thompson by quite some way. And Peter Jones, long pit stop. He's going to be jumped there by Musino, and indeed has been. But it's worthwhile continuing to get home that extra point or two into the pits this time around. Lap 9 of 18 for Wesley Stefano. Bang on the halfway point. Oh, look at Niranjan Kumar following him in. Battle of the boys. Lads, lads, lads. Across the line goes Argo Tida. He fancies a trot at the top, as does Fournier. Caitlin Penny in this time as well. So Tida and Fournier are going to be the ones with the fresher tyres in the second half of the race. Kumar versus Stefano. Oh no, and there's a problem there. Stefano has got the same grid slot as Caitlin Penny. They're both stuck in there together. Oh no. They've purposely all spread themselves out to make sure this didn't happen. I don't think that will cause a problem for Stefano. I don't know if Penny is in the pits. Yes, she is.
It will have given him damage, Simon, because she actually hit the side of Stefano. Quite heavy hit as well. So I am very curious to if that is allowed. Because yes, you can't help being in the same pit box, but hitting your opponent just to get in your pit box is certainly not on.
No, a bit angry elf there from Caitlin Penny. But what that has done is, obviously, that did not help Stefano get back out of the pits again either. He's behind Kumar. The two are behind Kastorp as well, who has stayed, basically leapfrogged the pair of them and is staying in 5th position. Schroten is ahead of them all. Abdelkader is in the pits. Maybe he didn't pit earlier on, apologies. Maybe he was slightly offset from everyone else. But yeah, that's not helped Stefano at all. Great shout there, Alex. Tida and Fournier continue on their way. So Shepherd will have the net lead. 3 seconds clear from Roy Schroten. Yuri Kastorp closing him back down again, but he's not going great guns. We see this before though, and particularly as they've got a longer stint as Tida pits. Fournier continues on. He's fancying the shorter stint second time round. And just to reply into the chat there, Wopke Oakstra, why does this happen? We have found the fault, and it will be fixed for next round. Sadly, it's just a nature of the beast sometimes. But yes, Shepherd over the line. 3 clear of Schroten. Kastorp not quite closing in. He's going to have to wait for this second half of this race to come to him, I think. out of anything. And he needs to make sure that Kumar does not catch up and cause him troubles as well, because he's pulling away from Stefano. Stefano actually a much slower second half of that lap, which kind of makes me think, I wonder if he's getting used to some kind of damage on his car as a result of that. Poom up to 7 now, Patterson to 8, Clip to 9, just ahead of Argo Tida. That was close into turn 2. Clip just about getting ahead. Tida quite fancied a lunge down, but there just wasn't enough room for him to stay there. But with fresher tyres, by a lap or so, Clip versus Tida. In fact, there you go, Argo Tida arguing the point already. Having a go at Matthew Clip. We know Tida is not shy in putting a wheel down the inside, or indeed an entire Megane, to be fair, as we saw at Manicourt. And hopefully he'll be able to make some cleaner moves this time around. He's known for doing some good clean racing elsewhere. I think he just had a bit of a rage issue, as we all do. But unfortunately, you don't have the time of the month to argue against it. Argo, even. Jeffrey Fournier.
Argo. Which one are we going for tonight, Smithy?
Ragu. Let's have some pasta on the occasion. But yeah, Matthew staying ahead just about for the time being. Fournier in from the lead. So that will hand stuff back to Shepherd and co. Ooh, Argo having a proper look through the fast kinks. Not the easiest place to overtake Assen, but it does have better racing than Zandvoort, which was essentially the driver's discussion in the warm-up and practice sessions, was debating which Dutchy track we should go to. Tida fancies a look, and the issue with this is Jeffrey Fournier is coming out at the same time. Tida goes through, runs out wide. Don't know if that is technically allowed or not, but I'm sure they'll argue that after the race. Clip goes down to 10, but Fournier's jumped the pair of them, so that's worked out well for Jeffrey. Got out just ahead. Nicely done in the clear air traffic. Shepherd then leads the way. 3.5 seconds from Schroten. Kastorp, though, closing back in. This is what he's good at. The slow really real is essentially putting a trail of dog treats down and just going, here, dugger, follow my lead. And Mr. Schroten is just being reeled gently in. Kumar, though, is going with them. Stefano's not being dropped entirely in 5th place, but it's certainly becoming quite juicy up front, as I think Stefano's got used to whatever damage will have occurred from that.
Looking at his car, Simon, it doesn't seem like he has actually amassed any damage. He's gotten very lucky out of that, I think.
Noish. So where would be your favourite places to overtake as we start to look at Kastorp harrying the back of Schroten?
Well, turn 1, dive bomb it up the inside or around the outside, because hello, Yuri Kastorp around the outside. Is it maybe? No, it's not. Surprised Yuri. He's very good at his overtakes around the outside of drivers, but he might have a look on the run to the inside. God, that's close. Very, very close. It's contact! Him and Schroten. Yuri, we know you've only just come back from Le Mans where it's natural to watch cars dive bombing one another, but you can't do it here at Assen. Come on, Yuri. But you obviously, that's another corner. If you can get late enough on the brakes, as Roy is getting very to the inside of that corner, and here maybe force your opponent into the tyre barrier where we saw Danny Robbins go, but you know, it just depends on how brave you are around here.
I think what was really interesting was that we already saw that go wrong for Yuri earlier on in the race, and he still felt that he could try that move again, and he's gone very deep into there. And is Kumar going to be able to capitalise on that? No, Kumar cannot capitalise. Oh, in fact, Kumar has absolutely dropped it himself. Through goes Stefano. Oh, and that's a really long, windy spin. Is Poom going to avoid him? Yes, just about. Choosing when to rejoin, waiting there, I think. Oh, he's got stuck on a curb. Patterson there just about avoiding. That was a shame there for Kumar, but that was kicked off earlier on. All of the Ks in this, in the Cs, thankfully, not that mine. As basically Kastorp ran out wide, and then that checked up Kumar, And it's kind of a bit of a pendulum effect as one issue causes the other. Oh, and Poom! Upside down, 5th position out of the final curb. Has he taken the sausage too hard? I think he might have done. What's happening there? Let's take a quick look at the replay. I'm just seeing what went on. It was all by himself. Oh, he tried to go. Oh, yeah, smack the inside sausage. Over and around he goes. I tell you what, if that was in the areas of gymnastic, he would get 10 for execution, but sadly not so. How is that car still going? Poom went boom. How high can you go, Poom? I tell you what, high enough. And that gets the win for me. In the high jump of Assen. Oh, I will not do a tap that ass joke. Especially as there's a sausage curb involved. So, what that has done, though, is eliminate Poom from what was looking like pretty much a certain 6th place. And that has given that... 5th place. Or 5th or 6th. And that has given that to Patterson, Fournier, Tida, Kumar, Clip. That's given Penny now 10th place and reverse grid pole. 3 seconds back is Poom, so we could try and get that reverse grid back to try and save his evening. But that is going to be all kinds of problems. You're just seeing in the chat, Tony Hawk would be proud. I'm sure he would do. That's not the grinding that he wanted, though. 3.9 back now, Schroten. Kastorp getting back into the rhythm of trying to go for it. He's only got 4 laps to go, though. So he's going to need to be quick about it. And Chris Shepherd could very well be the first person to take a win away from Yuri Kastorp. After Niranjan Kumar took away the pole streak. It's all starting to unravel for Yuri Kastorp if he was going to try and do a clean sweep of the events. He's a bit worried that actually later on in the season there might be a couple of events he's not here for, so he's trying to get the points in whilst the sun shines. So whilst he does have a very comprehensive lead in the championship overall, he may not be here and scoring for all of them, so it's good incentive for the rest of the drivers to keep going, plugging away, because that gap will close later on. Hector Thompson's gone off down at turn 1, rejoined, staying in 12th place. And in fact, Miguel Musino nearly does a replica copy in 13th as they try and drag their cars round for the lower ends of the points. What have we got? I think for me the battle for second, third, fourth is one of the juiciest. But Patterson versus Fournier certainly not done for 5 and 6. Margot Tida I don't think quite wants to drop off the back of that in 7th either. And sadly, Hygo Poom is running not quite as fast as what he'd like. And that has actually seen him drop a further 4 seconds off the back of Caitlin Penny. So it's looking like a second reverse grid pole for Penny if she can just keep it all together. Unless she wants to harass Matthew Clip for that battle for 9. So, Kastorp onto the back of Schroten. He's tried this move down at turn 3 several times. Not this time though. It's this second apex where it just pulls in tighter. And then this has also been the other point of carnage where cars have then collected each other. And look at the different lines that Schroten and Kastorp take throughout that. And Schroten, I think, maybe that was a minor error on his part, feeling the need to go defensive down the straight, get rid of the toe. And Kastorp right the way onto the back here. Who's your money on, Alex?
It's always on Yuri. Always on Yuri. Just never doubt Yuri and you'll do fine in sim racing.
I think a lot of people that like anime would follow that sentiment, but for an entirely different purpose. Down to the next couple of corners comes Kastorp and Schroten. Schroten using all of the track. But this has been a real turn of form here, I think, from Roy, because primarily his points have come from the reverse grid races where he's been able to capitalise on other people's mistakes, but also from being able to go long in a strategy. Here comes your contact between the two. They back out of it just about. That looked very dodgy through the quick curves, and in fact Roy again there locking up and drifting through the corners. How much tyre temperature has he got now, and how much tyre does he have left as they come bouncing across the line? 2 to go. Chris Shepherd now 4.2 clear of Schroten. This is playing beautifully into Shepherd's hands. He doesn't need to push at full beans anymore. He can look after his tyres and bring that car home for the first race he's woke up for. It may well be the first race he wins as well. So excellent stuff from Shepherd. But Castorp, different lines for different vines as they go through. Ooh, yeah, different. And look at Stefano. He's now got onto the back of this too. With the absence of Kumar down in 8th place, he's busy trying to close down on the Patterson-Fournier-Tida battle. But
Bit
Castorp...
of weaving going on from Shroty. Come on, Roy. You should know better than that, Roy. Well, I don't think Yuri's going to be too bothered with the place that he's in at the moment. Getting very close, though. I think Yuri very much wanted to get on the back of that ass of Roy Schroten.
He is, and I think this could be Taparoo number 2. No, we're okay. There's different... You're right there with Roy. We'll have to take see how Yuri feels about that post-race and what stewarding happens. There are obviously penalties that can be issued or for driving standards or for problems that we feel that could have been avoided. Doesn't happen too often, but sometimes it does. And the issue now for Castorp is that Stefano, who was quickest in practice and was my outside bet for pole, and it didn't happen, is in problems. And look at Castorp really bouncing over those final curves, throwing caution to the wind. I think he fancies a go. Look at how defensive Schroten is down on the inside, then goes to take his racing line. That's fine because it's the one move. What Alex was picking up earlier on was where it's less than one move, and that is a very wide line by Castorp. Scoops it back up again, but that mistake cost him another Lungelina down into this apex here, which has been his favourite spot to throw his car at so far. Where will he go? Where will he go? I'm very confused. The next problem they have, though, is they've got Haitham Abdelkader to lap. And it's pretty much coming up for the last lap now that we're on. In fact, it is the last lap that we're on. My apologies. So excited. It's been going quicker than I thought. A bit like Chris Shepherd. 4.9 clear of Schroten, Castorp and Stefano. Are they going to catch Haitham, and is he going to get out of the way before the end of this race? Because that could very well change the face of exactly who is on the podium and who is not. Look at Yuri stretching out wide, really going for it. Holds on just about. Stefano keeps a watching brief. I think that could very well all be done. Shepherd now coming through the kinks though. Last few corners for Chris Shepherd. It has been an absolute masterclass for him, breaking into the final couple of corners. It wasn't pole, but he certainly surged his way through. Chris Shepherd takes the win in the feature race here at Assen for Season 5 of Megane WCS. Second goes to Roy Schroten, third to Yuri Castorp, fourth for Wesley Stefano. They will all be pleased, I think, with that to some degree. Some maybe more than others. Craig Patterson comes across the line in 5th position, just ahead of Jeffrey Fournier and Argo Tida for 6th and 7th. Niranjan Kumar, I think, will be very frustrated with 8th position, spanking the barriers as he crosses the line, I think, to show his frustration. Matthew Clipp grabs 9, just ahead of Caitlin Penny, who gets reverse grid pole for 10. Hygo Poom, well done for pulling home points for that in 11th place. His car was running a good couple of seconds off the pace post that roll. Hector Thompson, 12th position, very lonely race for him. Same for Miguel Musino in 13th. Peter Jones will be last across the line in 14th on the lead lap because Haitham Abdelkader has scored his first point in 15th. One lap down. Your retirements were Rodrigo Carvalho, who crashed out, Danny Robbins, who also crashed out, Rienk Hoekstra, who also crashed out, and Mark Fuller, who disconnected on the formation lap. Classic race. Any thoughts or overriding messages, Alex, before we pause for the break between races?
Not really, actually. I'm pretty surprised that Yuri made that mistake early on, but clawed it back the best he could and just couldn't get past the very aggressive defending Roy Schroten.
And that's your lot for the feature race. Already in the chat there, Yuri saying, how is it possible to pass on such a narrow track when the car just moves and the car is everywhere? Getting Penny excited. Niranjan Kumar, I'm so stupid. Getting a little bit of Charles Leclerc in there. So, that is the feature race. Joyous as it is, we'll be back after this short break for the sprint race. Reverse grid top 10, half the laps, double the fun.
The WCSLeague Megane series on Rfactor 2 is proudly sponsored by Raceview.nl. Raceview.nl, where you and your league can get live timing updates every 2 seconds with stint analysis and an auto-generated track map, whilst also enjoying an overlay for your live broadcasts. Get your 30-day subscription on up to 3 servers for only $3.99. WCS League, where racing is entertainment, uses Raceview.nl for all their live timing. Why don't you check it out too?
I'm James Kirk. I'm Michi Hoyer, and you're watching SimNews.tv.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the sprint race, which requires you to roll, since we've had a rolling Hygo Poom, which you can't roll that. Hygo Proom? No, you could prune the poom, maybe. Anyway, we have the reverse grid sprint race. 9 laps, no mandatory stops here around our nether regions, Netherlands circuit of Assen, and we have the grid just forming up now. We've got 18 drivers sat and ready to go, and I'm super looking forward to this one because I think after I've run through the grid, Alex will agree with me that this one could well be a feisty carnage fest. Caitlin Penny on pole position then leads us around for her second reverse grid pole in a row. It came good for her last time. Let's see what happens this time. Matthew Clipp starts alongside her. He struggled last time out on reverse grid and dropped down the order a smidgy bit. Niranjan Kumar in third. He could be one to watch because that's not where he should have finished. Argo Tida rounds off row 2 in 4th position. Jeffrey Fournier is in 5th, ahead of Craig Patterson in 6th. Wesley Stefano is in 7th, ahead of Yuri Kastorp 8, Roy Schroten 9, and Chris Shepherd in 10. Now, Kastorp has won both reverse grid races, despite starting in 10th place. This time he's starting from 8th, but he's got a raring to go Chris Shepherd right behind him. I'm expecting fireworks there. Hygo Poom, hoping to stay the right way up, 11th place, ahead of Hector Thompson in 12th. I think we'll be looking to go for a top 10 finish if at all possible. Miguel Musino just ahead of his teammate Peter Jones, 13 and 14, and all row 7 for the Monsters. Then we've got Hytham Abdulkader 15, ahead of Rodrigo Carvalho in 16th, who had the unfortunate binning it in the pit lane accident. Clearly wanted to go to the carnival. Or maybe just wanted to Rodrigo go. Danny Robbins in 17th place, fancying a burn from the back. And Mark Fuller, hoping that his connection stays with him for beyond the formation lap this time, starts in 18th in the ST. Any predictions, any thoughts, any carnage, any filth that you want to share with us, Mr. Skinner, before we get going?
Nah, you've pretty much covered it. I think you've pretty much covered my arse already, Smithy, so take that as you will, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, no, looking forward to this second race, which obviously, as we know from past experience, can get a little bit fiery.
Well, since I've already taken your arse, that's probably explained why I'm covered in filth that you wasn't able to cover yourself in. down that hole we will go, literally. Shots for Sausage Curb in the chat if anyone wants to do that game. You may need a new liver by the end of it, but we'll get there eventually.
I think our hospital trip will be in order after that one, Smithy.
We only do triple shots here at WCS. If you fancy getting involved, please do join the Facebook group and find out more. After this race, the half-time transfer window for drivers come into play. So if you're thinking I fancy getting out there into this filth as well, do sign up, because there will be teams and drivers looking for swaps for the races where they're not available. So do indeed do so. The grid just gridding themselves up now. Scott's over. Hello, Scott. Livers are overrated. That is something I can get behind. Right, last couple just getting themselves into place now. They all are there. There seems to be a bit of a hold on the lights. Here they come. Who will be the king of the Assen? Down into turn 1. Off and away we go. Penny lighting up the tyres. That's a corker of a start from Tida, but he's got nowhere to go and has dropped right the way down the field as a result. And Penny well clear there from Clip. Kumar gets forced out for the second race in a row. Someone else is well off. It's Poom. But actually, it's made him up some positions further back down the field. But Penny well clear from Clip. Kastorp up to third. Where's he slung that from? I don't get that at all. But he's got it up into third position from Stefano and Kumar. Has this all sorted itself out? Am I having some kind of fever dream freak show? No, I'm not. Kastorp 8th to 3rd, beautifully done. Stefano up to 4th from 7th as well, so that's worked out great for him. Then Kumar, Patterson, Shepherd up to 7th from 10th. Schroten, Fournier, Tida down to 10. after what was an initial great getaway. Then Jones, Thompson, Musilo, Carvalho, Poom, Fuller, Robbins and Abdul Kader down to the back. There was a few bumps and grinds, but that was actually a much cleaner start from the field as a whole. So, Penny and Clip, the front row as is, but it's all changed behind, and this could be big stuff for Yuri Kastel to get himself back onto that top step of the podium, and already lining up Matthew Clip, who went backwards throughout the sprint race last time around. And look, he's gone, wow, he's scared off the road. Yuri's scared the poor guy. Don't clip his rear clip though, and he doesn't. Nice and cleanly done there. Kastorp up to second, now chasing down Caitlin Penny, who has a 1 second lead over Kastorp from Clip. There was a change of position across the line. It was Schroten who got the final corner horribly wrong. Fournier and Teeter have gone past up into 8th and 9th. Peter Jones all over Schroten for 10 and 11. So Juicy Lucy down there. And Clip's round. I don't know if there was a contact with Stefano or not, but that was loose. Well, looser than a goose. And I think Kumar is going to punish him too. Indeed he does. Kumar goes up into 4th position. Contact between Clip, Patterson into the wall. Oh no, drama. And then across the track. Oh, Pooh! Nearly pooed himself. Has he gone off? Yes, he has. Patterson's on the wrong way too. Pooh did get going, but lost it down to 13th position. But that was drama there. Clip out of the race. I think he's pulled to a stop. Yes, he has. Patterson has pulled off as well. What drama for the duo. Whew. I tell you what, good job of Schroten wasn't in there, because that would have been one Shretty Throaty. Kastorp then under a second from Caitlin Penny up front. That all kicked off that Clip and Patterson thing several corners back, but the way how Assen works, that whole sector 1 just bleeds one into the other corner wise, and so one mistake punishes another, and it was drama all the way through. Patterson innocently taken out there as Kastorp has a nose at Caitlin Penny. Penny locks up immediately, and Kastorp's there to capitalise onto the grass. He goes to take the lead. I'm not quite sure if that's on or off the track.
He did get nudged out by Caitlin Penny there, so I wouldn't really be against either of them, as Argo Teeter and Fournier are very, very close at the moment. Fournier on the inside through 2 and 3. Getting very close indeed between those two, as Roy Schroten, Sweaty Shroty getting very close indeed, as Shepherd's getting close to the back of Kumar as well.
Spoiled for choice on these battles. Thank you, Alex. We've got that was a good shout there. Penny actually nudging Kastorp off when they were side by side. She'd already made the mistake going into the corner, so that kind of does pave the way, I think, for Kastorp to get through, in my pretty little disturbed mind. And let's take a wee look. So Kumar running out slightly wide has got Chris Shepherd on his back. Let's watch this lot all filter down the last sector or so. They're closing down on Stefano, who looks a little bit pedestrian. I think it's because he's busy trying to work out where to pass Caitlin in the battle for what will now be second onwards, and they're starting to form a train behind as Hygo Poom is off the track and just rejoined in 15th out of the 16 runners. Didn't see if he got a helping hand or not. But Penny versus Stefano versus Kumar versus Shepherd, and Teeter and co are joining onto the back of this as they filter themselves down into the final corner. Caitlin again, and that's the problem. That's what Poom did earlier on. She's gone straight across. Stefano goes through up into second, gifted that. What that has done is Kumar and Teeter. Which one? Shepherd's gone past Kumar. Is he going to get Penny as well? Yes, he is. Niranjan nearly bins it on flooring the throttle through the corner. Shepherd, though, stays onto the inside. Penny not giving him the room quite enough, but Shepherd forces the issue and just says, no, I'll have that, thanks. Pushes her wide. Through he goes. Penny fancies a nose back through. That's going to be a little bit of a nudge love out. Onto the curbs goes Shepherd. I tell you what, this has turned into a contact sport round Assen, and essentially this has become a touch my ass event. Shepherd, oh Penny, what was that? into the barriers. No, just about missing goes Penny. Stays into third. Kumar fourth. Shepherd, though, facing the wrong way, taking the long trip through the grass. You could see that one coming, and Shepherd has just quit out in rage, I think, from that. Not the best of moves from Penny or Shepherd, to be fair. It's very difficult to go 2x2. But once again, Penny speed, but lacking the racecraft to pull it together across a full racing evening. Stays third though. Kumar up into fourth. Tida to 5. Schroten to 6. Fournier, Jones, Thompson and Musino now up into 10th. He would dearly love a top 10 finish if he can get it. He's got 5 seconds over Fuller and Carvalho, who are battling over 11th. Nice to see Rodrigo in a scrap ahead of teammate Poon. Robbins is in 14th. Not seen what's happened with him, but he's lost 2 positions in this lap, and indeed 14 seconds, with Abdul Qadir in 15th, I think, just going around gaining experience. Penny versus Kumar down into turn 1. Are we going to have another smasheroo? No, we are not. Kumar backs out of it. Penny runs wide slightly. This is all going to come into the same issue again, as turn 1 doesn't seem to be the do or dive move that people are working out. They're setting it up for this kind of long section of corners that just filter and turn back on themselves. And in fact, Kumar gets it wrong. Very wrong, in fact.
He actually got a tag from Tida.
Oh.
So, go Tida. Getting a bit too close to the rear ends of his fellow competitors once again. And
tapping Tida.
Yep, tipping Tida, there we go. Allows Schroten to close it up though, but it's a shame the Shepherd's race ended as it did. But, am I surprised? What I've seen this year from, certain drivers on the grid, I'm not too surprised myself.
Boom, David takes Carvalho in the battle of their switching of positions for 12th and 13th. We shall see how this one all unfolds. Kumar, I think, will be spitting feathers if he ends up in 10th position at the end of this, because he's had good pace, but it's just all kind of filtered out through mistakes and issues along with other drivers as it goes along. But what this has done is promote Argo Tida now up to 4th position, Schroten up to 5th. We've said that his reverse grid poles have always... his reverse grid drives have been the ones where he's...
48th round along with Peter Jones, Simon. And I have a feeling there might have been a bit of contact there.
That was through the kinks, wasn't it?
And it was Peter Jones going for a gap that didn't exist. Well, sibling does again, and it seems that both of them have made a couple of moves. 48 has rage quit to the garage, so both epics taken out in the space of a lap. Whoa, in the space of a lap from each other.
That is the second time in this season that Fournier has rage quit out, I believe. Not happy with how his races have gone. I tell you what, how on earth Hector Thompson and Niranjan Kumar and Miguel Messino avoided those 2 spinning cars, I've got no idea, because I would have soiled myself, Assen by name and by nature. So 14 drivers remain, but superb skills there from Thompson and Kumar. Hector Thompson up to 6th position. If he can hold that, that will be superb for him. He's not had the raw speed this season, but clearly plogging away and getting out of it is staying out of the trouble, has really paid him dividends. Up to 6th, Kumar to 7, Musino up to 8th. That will be his season best if he can hold it as well. Next battle, I think, that will be brewing out on track, apart from this Kumar-Thompson battle, will be when Roy Schroten and Argo Tida catch back up to Caitlin Penny. Kumar having a look at Thompson now for 6th and 7th. Don't do it round the curves. We've seen this end in tears far too often. And again there, that people are locking... I've seen tyre smoke as they're coming out from that kink. Is that the breaking point, or is that just people pushing way too hard to try and weave and stay ahead? Not entirely sure. But down into turn 1, Thompson stays ahead of Kumar. Schroten onto the back of Penny for 3rd and 4th, also juicy. Elsewhere, Hygo Poom is just overtaken round the outside of turn 1 actually for Mark Fuller for 10th position. So Poom trying to get as many points as he can from what has been a bouncy evening of racing. And here comes Schroten onto the back of Penny. Lap 7 of 9. Hashtag Star Wars reference. Trek reference. Oh dear. Now I've gone and done it.
Oh, you've done it now, Simon. You've done it now.
I apologise to everyone who
the fanboys are going to be writing their comments now, Simon. I can just picture it. Dear Simon Smith, it turns out that it's actually Star Trek that you meant to reference as Schroeter and Penny side by side. In the meantime, God, that was close as well.
That was 7 out of 9 apexes that I think no one got quite right round those corners because everyone had a different line going round. I apologise profusely to anyone I offended. Pretty much could say that for every second line I say. Schroeter onto the back of Caitlin then as they weave their way through the fast kinks again down to the final sausage, and not a lot going on there, but I think Schroeter's busy setting himself up for more fun further on down the line. Is he going to have a Lungelina into turn 1? I don't think so. Nothing doing. Pulls back in, but that's a good exit out from 2 into 3, and Penny, she is closing the line there. She's going to have to stay and hug the apex and the curb all the way round, doing so indeed, holding off Schroeter for another few corners. Tida has dropped off ever so slightly, but as these two start to row, he will pull back in again. Kumar dives past Thompson in 6th and 7th. Thompson gets back again and says, no, thank you very much. That was quite comical from my viewpoint, because just as he floored it on the exit, his rear end poked out and just gave Niranjan a little love nudge, and I don't think he'll be very happy with that. Schroeter up to 3rd, Penny's round in the fast speed corner, the same place where she took off our departed Chris Shepherd, not dead. She hit the barrier.
She ran way too wide and went into the barrier where Danny Robbins crashed out last race, spun herself round, and would you say karma there, Smithy? Because, it seems like it's coming.
Sometimes it bites you in the Assen. That's all I'm saying. Schroeter up to 3rd. Got hit by Penny, actually, to be fair, so we'll see how his car is handling. Tida then to 4. Thompson and Kumar, 5 and 6. These two aren't done by any stretch of the imagination. Hector doing some great defensive driving from Niranjan, who was doing a proper good lunge as that all goes on. But this is a better lunge from Niranjan, and that is a good... Oh, no, he's missed it. Over the sausage he dives. I hope it's halal. Then Hector retakes the position. I'm assuming things I probably shouldn't be. I apologise. Hector back up into 5th position. Niranjan a much better exit out from turn 1 into 2. And again, these two are inseparable. Fantastic driving by the pair of them. They're pushing the limits and pushing each other sometimes, but they're not taking the mick, if that makes sense. As Peter Jones there nearly runs off into the gravel just behind them. He's sensing a 5th position. Mark Fuller has just overtaken Caitlin Penny for 9 and 10. Caitlin has just tapped the back of Fuller, but actually she's ended up worse off as a result. So not great end to the race for her. Up front though, Yuri Kastorp, 3 seconds clear from Stefano. Schroeter, Tida.
No.
Thompson's
Hector
off.
Thompson's round. I have a feeling, I'm just having a look on the replay, Smithy. It was self-inflicted. Exactly the same way that Caitlin Penny did it.
What a terrible shame there for Hector, and that drops him outside the top 10, and it paves the way for yet another Yuri Kastorp display of pure brilliance on the track. He comes bouncing out from the curves. We've barely seen him since the opening couple of laps. Yuri Kastorp wins the sprint race here at Assen, round 6 of 12, the second race of the 3rd meet. Beautifully done. 3 seconds clear from Wesley Stefano, who I think will be quite satisfied with that podium position. Schroeter on the podium again there in 3rd place. Argo Tida comes across the line. I think he'll be pleased with that 4th. That's a good recovery from him. Niranjan Kumar 5th. I think it'll be splitting feathers. Peter Jones, good recovery up to 6th place. Miguel Musino 7th. That's his best ever and the team's best result so far in a race this season. Mark Fuller, I think, will be delighted with 8th. Caitlin Penny recovered back to 9th in the end of all of that, ahead of Rodrigo Carvalho, who gets his top 10 position. I think will be delighted. Hygo Poom gets 11. Abdul Kader is going to get 12 because Hector Thompson is crabbing his way round really slowly, and Abdelkader just about holds on for 12th place from a recovering Danny Robbins, who's also been off the track this lap as well, because Abdelkader was behind a lap ago. So 12th for him, 13th for Robbins, 14th, and crabbing across the line. Well, showing spirit there, Hector Thompson, and that's a shame because that was looking like being a personal best. Grabs points though in 14th. Retirements then, Jeffrey Fournier rage quit out. Chris Shepherd crashed out as a result of collision. Matthew Clipp, same there when he collected. Craig Patterson, who was the innocent, taken out of that race as well. 18 started, 14 finished. Mark Fuller, 18th to 8th in the chat, already saying he's a happy man. Whew. I don't know about Schroten, but I'm sweaty. How was that for you, Alex?
It was entertaining, to say the least.
User joined your channel.
But we do
User left your channel.
as we had someone hop in here a bit prematurely, because obviously, instead of having interviews, we're going to wrap this one up. And, well, obviously, as we said, Smithy, it's been a great one.
It has indeed. Thank you so much to everyone who has watched during the chat or on replay as well. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Raceview.nl. Do please check them out. We will be back next Monday on the 24th of June at 7:45 UK time, where we will be at the UK circuit of Donington, where I can try and make as many poor Dunlop tyre bridge references of going through the hole where possible. Thank you, of course, to Alex Skinner for cameraman extraordinaire. My name is Simon Smith. If you can't stay filthy, stay out of the gravel. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.
The WCS League Megane series on Rfactor 2 is proudly sponsored by Raceview.nl. Raceview.nl, where you and your league can get live timing updates every 2 seconds with stint analysis and an auto-generated track map, whilst also enjoying an overlay for your live broadcasts. Get your 30-day subscription on up to 3 servers for only $3.99. WCS League, where racing is entertainment, uses Raceview.nl for all their live timing. Why don't you check it out too?
I'm James Kirk. I'm Mitchie Hoyer, and you're watching SimNews.tv.